It's amazing what you can create with the cardboard, craft sticks and few beads. Hi, it's Emilia. Welcome to my new video. Today I will be creating a shabby chic decor. It can be an Easter decor because it has some eggs in it, but a spring decor or just home decor. So I will use cardboard craft sticks. My craft sticks are jumbo craft sticks, larger than the like lollipop craft sticks. And first I started by putting them in a row just to see how many I will need to have a decent size base. I mean the size I wanted roughly. So for that for the base I will be cutting the cardboard, and the sizes I will provide on the side of the screen, but please note that you can create that in any size you want. You will need more or less craft sticks. So the height of my base will be 19 centimeters. It's 30.5 centimeter wide, and now I measured 7 centimeter from the top on each side. Then I marked the center and joined these points to this is the top of the birdhouse, and I'm cutting out the corners. So that's the back. Now I will cut some smaller pieces, as I want to have like a little box at the front, and the front is 7 centimeters tall, but the craft sticks will be slightly taller than the cardboard, and the sides are 5 centimeters wide. The front is the same as the back, 13.5 centimeters wide. So I will use that front also to create the bottom part. The bottom part later I will have to cut slightly because it was too big, but when you create the bases like this, you still have time later to maybe make something bigger or smaller. This is just the cardboard, and most of it will be covered with other products. So then I decided also to add a little roof on the top, and I'm just cutting 2 strips to create a little roof later. So now I'm marking my craft sticks. These, like I said, are slightly longer than the front, and I will also use them on the back. On the sides, sorry. So I will create a line for all of them, and I know where I need to cut each stick. And then I will assemble the front of the house, the little box, and then I will start decorating it. As you can see, my craft sticks are sticking out a little bit on the back, so I decided to trim them. These are actually quite easy to cut. And then I'm going to add 2 sticks on the roof, on the front, so I don't see that texture from the cardboard, but you could also use a string here or something else, or use the texture paste to make this the sides even. But I had these sticks and I thought that's a good idea. And for the bottom little legs I use quite large beads. These are wooden beads, and I'm going to adhere them with the hot glue, but you can also use a gel medium for that. And you can use something totally different for the legs. Look for things you have in your craft room. Other little wooden pieces could be good. And then I decided to add some texture to the roof. And here I have chosen the texture paste. So I'm applying a thick layer of a texture paste to both sides of my little roof. And then with the wooden sticks I create some lines to give it more texture. I applied quite a thick layer, and bear in mind, if you will do it, then it stays wet for quite long. So actually mine didn't fully dry till the end of the video, but I wanted to keep decorating. So yes, I had to be very careful because it was wet all the time. I could dry it with the heat gun, I just didn't want to wait, so I continued with the decorating. So then I decided to prime the back of the birdhouse and the front actually as well. And on the back I will add a rice paper. This is from the new Stamperia collection. It has a very delicate background and I'm going to use it on the back wall of my birdhouse. So first of all I cut roughly the rice paper to the size of my back, and then I will place it inside the birdhouse to mark where I need to cut that triangle on the top. So I pressed the paper with my fingers. The paper is quite thin, so don't press too hard, just to have these markings, so then later I cut it off the corners with the scissors, and actually it worked really well. One of the sides was a little bit wider than I needed, so I also cut off that with the scissors. So now I'm applying the rice paper glue. Only thin layer is needed. I will place my rice paper. You can still move the rice paper if you need. Even if you will stick it on, you can gently, remove it and reposition it. So this is a great thing about the rice paper. So when you are happy with the position, apply another layer of the rice paper glue on the top. This will seal your paper and the paper will stay in place. And also later you can use some mediums on top of that if you want some paints or other things. So now I grabbed the Aqua color from Stamperia. It's brown, and I will use it in various places on my base. First I started to use it in the grooves between the craft sticks on the little box on the front, and I will also use it on the side. So I've got a little brush and I go deeper into the grooves because I wanted them to be more visible and also to add a tiny amount of color where those two craft sticks meet. And I also have a little tissue here, very tiny piece, just to remove the color because it's very difficult to go into the grooves exactly, and then it will create a really nice effect. So I did that twice on each side and also a little bit on the top of each stick. I also used this color to add color to the grooves on the roof. I'm following the lines I created previously with the wooden stick, and also I will spray the roof with water so the color can flow on the other parts of the roof. And of course, this made it even more wet than it was before. So maybe if I was creating that house again, maybe I would choose something different for the roof. But don't get me wrong, it looked really nice at the end. And then I will paint the inside of the roof also with the same color, and then I will start thinking about decorations. So I grabbed few eggs. These are very white, so I'm again adding the same color, very little of that, to make them more like off-white creamy color than super white, because they were too bright. Then I also grabbed one little window. This is created with the silicone mold from Stamperia Hidden Grove collection, and I will link all the products I can at least find in the description box below the video. So now roughly I'm happy with the base, and I'm starting to adding decorations to my box at the front. So first I thought I will, because it's quite deep, I need to something on the bottom of it, because the decorations will be just visible on the top. So I added few layers of cardboard. Doesn't matter, doesn't need to be perfect, because then I crunched few pieces of the paper, and the paper will be my next layer, but I will add it once I've got, I don't know, 7 I think layers of cardboard. So the paper will be visible. That's why I crunched it, so it looks like I don't know, like what. But it adds nice color and the texture. This is just brown packing paper. Then I added my window to the back wall, and then creating the composition. So for that I've got some artificial branches and dry roots. My roots were quite tangled and very like all together, so I had a little problem dividing them into pieces, but I managed. I just made a mess on my mat. Doesn't matter. So I'm adding the roots first here and there, and well, there is no recipe for that. You just add it where you feel, and then I will start adding eggs, and then I will add more roots, and I will finish the composition with the greenery. Later I will also create a very small composition on the roof, and then I'm going to add something to the front, but first I will play with these elements here. I decided the front of the birdhouse is a bit too plain, so I grabbed some stencil. This has flowers and leaves, and I'm gently applying texture paste through the stencil. Here it's a bit tricky because the craft sticks are not even, so you need to do it carefully to have a really nice texture printed from that stencil. And then I also decided to add a little sentiment, so I took the rub-ons, and again you may need to rub it off rub it on for a bit longer, and be careful with that because the craft sticks are not even and it doesn't go as nicely as on the flat surface, but of course you can do it. I'm back with the aqua color as I wanted to add a little bit more color to my legs. Not that this will be seen later, but you know, I wanted to give them some dimension, and I will use white gesso to highlight some of the elements. I use dry brush and wipe off excess of the gesso on the tissue. And then this project is ready. I absolutely love it. Please let me know what do you think. And if you liked the video, I hope I can inspire you to create your own Easter spring decorations. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know in the comment what do you think. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a lovely creative day. Bye bye.